All right, so Facebook's live stream didn't let me do its thing, so we're gonna make this video and go from there. I'm gonna pretend we're doing Facebook Live. So that being said, the Facebook Live video was supposed to allow me to interact with you guys. Drop some notes in there, shoot me a DM. If you have specific issues or questions, I'm happy to get on a call with you and address that one-on-one. So let's pretend like that whole Facebook Live thing actually works. So here we are. I've got a dummy account that I do for all these intros and things like that. So what I'm going to assume at this point is you have a business account with your ad account, your Facebook and Instagram page linked, credit card linked, so Zuckerberg can take your money, and you have under data source, you have your data set. It used to be called a pixel. They've moved everything to here. They're calling it a data set now. Same thing. It's that piece of code on your website that tracks. End of story. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly jump into your ad account. I have this dummy account number 1 that I'll open up. And the goal right now is to walk through launching an ad. So we're going to start from scratch. And this is an old one. Actually, I want to use the other one. I got a little bit of the CDO. It's kind of like OCD, but better organized alphabetically. This one here, I believe, is a little bit cleaner looking. Nope, it's not. Anyways, we're going to start and create a brand new one here. Always have these fun little pop-ups. All right, going back to the original one, I guess. Okay, so in the tactical world, they have a couple options when you're setting up your campaigns. If you talk to me, more often than not, I'm going to suggest in some form or another, even if you have an e-commerce store, that we have a lead generation campaign running. If you're a firearms instructor or you sell custom items that you have to speak with someone to get, hey, we want to go and get your custom rifle, your custom whatever it is, Cerakoting, all that fun stuff. You need leads, right? So the leads will be good for conversions. That's what we want. So we're going to go in and start a lead generation campaign. There's going to be all of these campaign suggestions, setups, and stuff like that. We are going to go as manual as possible. And I'll probably repeat this a few times, but there's a lot of these AI algorithm driven pieces in Meta. They are good. A lot of them are very good, with the caveat that you have enough data or you've given enough data to Meta for them to have the algorithm work well for you. So if this is your first ad campaign you're ever starting up, and you just installed your data set on your website, it's all brand new, this is for you, to set things up manually until you can feed the algorithm enough data for it to understand your customer, their buying behavior, their scrolling behavior, all that stuff. And then you can start doing some of these tailored campaigns and leaning on the AI side and the algorithm a little bit more. So manual leads campaign. All right, so I'm going to be pretty detailed here. So the way that I start is I make sure we have things named correctly, because maybe it's just me, it's not. When you get into your ad manager, you don't want to look at 4 or 5 campaigns and have no idea what they are, right? So I typically throw Fusion Marketing tag on here, and next step is to say if it's top of your funnel, very unaware, or bottom of funnel. So we're gonna do a top of funnel campaign, and we're gonna do lead gen, so we know the conversion event. We're gonna get to that. And then you can put some other pieces in here, but we're gonna do an automatic bidding option. All the stuff will go into it, right? So you're gonna scroll down. You don't have to worry about any special categories. You're not a realtor. You're not doing any of this stuff here. So moving on, you have your leads objective campaign. This is one of the algorithm pieces here that we can skip past for now. We're not doing A/B testing here. We can do A/B testing in several other locations. First part for this is nice and simple. Hit next. Okay, I'm glad it did this. It'll typically default to instant forms. So whether it's on Facebook or Instagram, an instant form is when you see you click the ad and the form stays on Facebook or it stays on Instagram. It's all right there. That's trash. I've been doing this for 12 years of the record time of this recording. Not once have I seen or managed or heard of an instant form being a financially smart decision to do. So what we typically will do is say we'll go switch to the website where you have your homepage that has the pop-up, or you have a dedicated landing page with an embedded form for name, phone number, email. That's where you want them to go. And that's it. This website and calls is a newer feature within the last year. Unless you're Johnny on the spot or Janie on the spot with your phone, always picking up on that first ring. Stay away from that. Scroll down. You gotta pick your data set. So this is the name of your Pixlr data set out there. It'll probably give me some sort of, yeah. I haven't used this Pixel for a while. Yours should be green. If it's active on your site, you should be good. So next step is to pick the conversion event, which would be the lead. And again, yours will be green. And if it is brand new, let's talk about this. If this is a brand new lead, sorry, brand new data set on your site, and it does show gray, or it does show this, finish the setup and then go through the flow yourself. Go to your landing page, fill the form out, go to your homepage, fill the form out, give it 24 hours, it'll work. None of this other stuff needs to get checked off. This is all standard across the board. Dynamic creative. If you turn this on, when we get to the next step for the ads, this will have you just throw a whole bunch of images or a whole bunch of copies, and it will pick and choose and put stuff in place the way that it wants. Definitely good to do this later on when you have enough data on the data set. All right, so keep this checked off for now. Budget. So this is, biggest question, I guess. How much should I spend? The typical answer I give is on average $50 a day. Facebook will take $1. And they'll tell you all these fun things, or it could be they'll be more than happy. They'll warn you, hey, you're spending a lot more than most people, but they'll take it. All right. So the balance here is $50 because that allows enough data to come back for you or whoever's running your ads to make changes, to adjust audiences, to change your copy, to change your creatives, to scale up if things are working well. But I will say this is a bid on the back end, a bid for getting in front of someone. It's kind of like Price is Right. If there's 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 people that you're targeting, other companies are targeting them too. So if you want to outbid them, you can spend crazy numbers, or you can make something simple like a small little adjustment, something that they're not going to want to do, just 27 cents more. So a little strategy that I've been using for probably a decade now kind of helps push you over the edge. Don't do a schedule, let the algorithm do its thing and learn. And this is a newer in the last year increase around specific times. This is helpful to do if you're running a sale, or if it's like leading up to Black Friday and you want to kind of ramp it up during that first part of the day. Good to do. And if not, until then, skip over that. Then we come to our audiences. So if you are a local person and you're just, I'm in Stuart, Florida, and I'm a firearm instructor, right? I only want to market to my people because I don't want to drive 2 or 3 hours to go teach a few people. I'm lazy, right? So if that's the case, I'll put in my zip code. For some reason, it's saying Turkey. Okay, not Turkey, Stuart, Florida. All right. But if I look at that and say, oh, shoot, audience size is kind of small. Maybe I should drive a little bit more. I can get rid of this, drop a pin and say, hey, I live over here. Happy to drive 50 miles or 10 miles, right? Audience size looks a little bigger, but let's say I do want to drive 50 miles. That's not bad. Okay, bam. Then I'm sold. If it's nationwide, you're good to go. Just leave USA. If you ship products, but it's cost prohibitive to ship to Hawaii or Alaska, let me show you how to do that real quick. United States of America. Okay, so there's your nationwide, but Alaska is a no-go. You select it and then you go back in here and exclude. Oh, Alaska, USA, that's, I don't know. All right, Facebook's being funky. That's a town in Puerto Rico. Get rid of that. All right, see, this is the fun part about doing this live. Set to exclude, hit the state, good to go. So now you can scroll out and see include, exclude. So do that. All right, so you've got the location, you know where you're going. Yes, they're hiding stuff on us. All right, so minimum age, right? So if you don't want to talk to people who maybe can't afford your service, say they're still in college or something like that, you say, hey, my target audience is 25 and up. We're good to go. All right, so then we have custom audiences you can put in place. This is all based off your pixel. We're not getting into that. They keep changing things. All right, switch to original audience options. This is the algorithm. Again, if you have it and it's working, your data set, awesome, you can lean on this. But for the purpose here, we're going to switch to use original audience, no matter what they're going to say. All right, now you can play around with your audiences a little bit more. Let's say you're just hitting the sweet spot, right? 25 to 55, that's your group. Keep an eye on the audience size as we drop down here. All right. Next thing, you can get into the weeds a little bit here, right? There's a lot of stuff still available here. If you want to target, parents that are, doesn't matter, they got a kid, they want to take a CCW course to protect their family. Doesn't matter what age their kid is, right? So there you go. You got your parents. You want to define it a little further, drop it down a little bit more. So, hey, maybe I want to get in touch with, parents that drive. Let's see if this works. Ford Motor Companies, right? So you can play around with this. Just keep an eye on the audience list. I wouldn't define it a third time unless you really want to get crazy. So now you're driving, I'm just targeting myself at this point. So that is this. So if you really know your people and you dial it in, the audience size, you want to keep at least, if it's nationwide, 1 million. If you're local, you can get to that, 250,000. I think that's okay. You might have to increase your size of your audience in order just to run, because Facebook will have a hard time spending if you live in a small town and there's maybe 5 to 10,000 people. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. You might have to broaden it just to run, but it's a catch-all sort of situation. Last piece on here are placements. I should be able to edit these. All right, so again, later on when the data set is good, you can run this. But for now, we want to manually pick where we're going to place our ads. So let me just open all this up and I'll show you all the possible options for your ads. Every check mark here is a different placement. They're not all different sizes. If you look on the right here, you'll see, 916, those tall stories and reels and things like that. You got some other smaller, squares and on the vertical 4:5 ratios. Those are the big three sizes. So when you're making your creatives, you got to think, where am I placing these? What size or sizes do I need? We want to really make this very simple. And when you reduce the placements, you increase the spend on the correct placements. So first things first, you can get rid of all of the in-stream search results, apps and sites. Unless you know this is where your people are, get rid of it. All right, so let me OCD this a little bit here, clean it up. So for the stories, shut them off. We're only going to turn back on a few because we know Instagram, Facebook, they changed these a little bit. So we got Reels. Where did it select? It's popping around a little bit on me. Okay, so we have Facebook and Instagram Reels, Facebook and Instagram Stories, because we have a video, we have the full size, we're gonna be able to do this, right? It doesn't have to be a video, it can be a static image. On the feed side, We really just need Facebook, an Instagram feed. Another good spot you can start throwing some things is Instagram Explore, right in the Explore side. I'm not using that just yet, but some people are. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, we got this. So we know who we're targeting, where the ads are going, what we're spending, and what our goal is, lead. So from here, let's also name this. This is our ad set name. So this is US 25 to 55 male, female, parent, Ford, manual placement. Cool. So we have all that in place. Go next. Then we get to the creative side. So make sure that your Facebook and Instagram page are here. This is an old coffee company of mine. So let's let that ride. Create the ad, upload it, single image. So the question here that always comes up is image versus video. Video is great. It's a topic for another time because there are specific things you can and can't do with videos. But for now, let's just pick an image. Multi-advertiser sets, uncheck that. That's where it shows you next to other companies as people are swiping through a carousel. Haven't seen it work well, so your ad might be right next to something completely off brand and a waste of time. So we want to be really specific on what we're doing here. So we want to do an image ad and the source URL. Here, let's just grab this one here. That's where it's coming from. Let's see. It'll tag all these fun things. You want to get a thumbnail, sure. This is services. Probably this, you're not really doing a heck of a lot right now, but you do want to fill this out here, right? Hit next, we'll put in some copy. So the primary text, if you're looking at the static image, the primary text is what's above. Hello, hello. And the headline is that smaller, bolder text underneath. Test, test. The description is underneath, smaller. I typically don't write something. So I put a space and that shrinks that space to make the headline appear a little bit bigger. Call to action. Got to know what you want to do, right? If it's an educational piece where someone's going to a landing page to input their information to download something, learn more is fantastic. If you're promoting your course, book now is a great way to do it. If you're selling something, where's the buy now? Shop now, or sign up or subscribe. This has to be very specific to what you're doing. So for now, we're going to hit learn more. Go to our media. I have no idea what's going to show up here. So we have all this crazy stuff. Old things. All right, cool. So let's go with this one, right? Why not? So the placements that I selected only had 2 sizes on them, and we can go ahead and make adjustments as needed. So we can crop this so it's the right size. Oh. All right, let's pretend that it's the right size for now, right? So we've got our text, we got our image, we have our headline. We're in good shape here. There's all these other things you can do. You don't want to have too many optimizations on here. Actually, I want to walk through that with you real quick. Hit next, everything's cropped, it looks great. Generate images. No, no, no. I'm not really loving the way these are looking, so it'll give you some options. Pick the one you like the most. Hit next. The enhancements, for the most part, not that great. I'm not a big fan of these, especially the music one. The music that they select is terrible. If you're making a video with a reel, pick your own. You can look at the music that's available there. It's pretty bad. So I don't like this text over here. Kind of looks gross. Visual touch-ups, not a big deal. Text improvements, I haven't seen too much of a difference in right now, but go through, make sure it all makes sense for you. Site links are good. If you have them set up in the creative setup here, definitely a good idea to have. People can click on that, go right to a specific part of your website, and hit done. Wait for your computer to actually be done. So it should be all in place now. At this point, you should be 99.5% ready to go. Confirm that your pixel or your data set is ready to go, even though mine is a dummy account and it's not. We're going to pretend that yours is. Hit offline events just for a slight advantage and additional tracking. And you're done. You just blew through it pretty quickly. Go back and watch again, ask questions. From at that point, you hit publish. And within an hour, depending upon the time of the day, hour or two, you should be up and live and ready to go. And that's the first part. I'll do another one of these. I want to figure out the live part because I want to go through how to read the data as it comes in. That's what's next.